Okay. Now that I'm completely out of drinks, let's go.
Jesus. So get a fucking drink, dude.
I think I'll be good.
Famous last words.
Famous last words.
Okay. Are you actually good?
Yes.
Okay. We could have had a fucking technology TED Talk podcast with this week's. We had like
I know,
iPad talk and
it's too
TV
bad
talk.
no one was recording during our tech news podcast just now.
Yeah. Man. I want the fucking iPad.
I know. I do too.
If only I had expendable fucking money.
I need a job. I need this podcast to take off, man. Then I can write it off as a business expense.
Okay, you good to go?
Yes.
Take another drink, then I'm good.
Oh, look at me with my drink.
La-di-da.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Oh, good for you.
Glug, glug, glug.
Okay, I'm about to start.
I need to. I got a bunch of glug, glug, glugs and la-di-da-di-das. Hang on. Okay.
La-di-da-di-da.
As soon as I click the record button, you do it again. I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it in. This is how the episode starts.
Do I come and fuck with your lights? No.
Do I come and fuck with your podcast? No. No.
No. No.
Do I come and drink your Coke Zero? No.
And how was it? I fucking love that Christian Bale clip so much.
Oh, I know he's like legit embarrassed about it too, but it's one of the best clips I've ever heard on the internet.
Was it Terminator Salvation? Is that where that originated? I think it was Terminator Salvation.
Was it that or one of the Dark Knights? I don't remember.
I think it was Terminator, where he was screaming at the fucking poor grip guy setting up the lights or whatever.
Yes.
Can you imagine you just get fucking chewed out by Batman? You're just like, fuck dude, I'm just trying to set up the lights.
Do I come and fuck with your lights?
Swear to me.
Swear to my lighting.
Okay. Let's fucking actually record this. Welcome back, everyone, once again to a new installment, finally, of the Screenplay Rewind podcast. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Ron. Did we give the audience the hi-hat? Is that what happened?
I think we did. Ron, this isn't Knob. This is Screenplay Rewind. There are rules. Why are we recording this a week late? I watched this movie a week ago. I told Ron, like, hey, I'm going to watch the movie on Saturday morning, and then I'll be able to record whenever. That was 7 days ago. We're finally fucking recording.
Oh,
Jesus.
man. How's your 2 weeks been?
It's been good. It's been okay. I constantly in a state of seasonal allergies trying to kill me.
Oh my god, dude, it's been so bad.
Beautiful. We had like a legit apocalyptic bout of wind.
Yes,
where we had
between this podcast and last, we had power outages and everything.
We had, I think, gusts of up to about 70 miles per hour, and dude, it was
sustained 40 and gusting up to like 70. And 40 to 70, those are F0 to F1 speed winds, straight line sustained.
It's insane, dude. Yeah, it was fucking terrible.
Like having an F0 or an F1 out. Just parked over your house.
It sounds like we're using that as an excuse for the podcast being late, but no, we're just fucking lazy as shit.
It had nothing to do with it.
We kept having like some bit of scheduling conflict, which was like, Ron's ready, I'm doing something, and vice versa. And it was like 4 days in a row. And then we finally got on to record, and we just talked about like iPads and TVs because Ron got a new TV. We talked about like that for like an hour. So we've been putting off this fucking podcast.
I gotta say, I'm surprised you remember I got a new TV. I mean, I've barely even talked about it.
Yeah, I definitely haven't gotten, like a photo every hour. Like you're providing proof of life of the TV.
You know what though? Those photos, you can see what's in them, and it's not blue.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Because anytime I would take a picture of my screen and send it to you, the picture was just blue.
That was so funny because we would go over to Ron's house for our hangouts with Aurora and Bobby, just kind of chilling. And then at one point we were playing like Jackbox. I think it was like 2 or 3 visits ago, and I'm just like, Okay, am I insane or is the TV blue?
It's been slowly shifting.
Yeah. This last time though, I was like, all right, give me the remote. I gotta try to fucking do something about this.
I get up to go to the bathroom. I come back and Jeff has the remote, and he just gives me this look like, "What the fuck?" And he's just like, "What is wrong with your TV?" And Chris
Yeah,
is just laughing.
I'm just changing settings, and it just would not cooperate. Because wasn't it something that was like just broken with the LCDs or something? I found a Reddit thread about like it was something with that brand and like that model or something that like led to the blue. But it was so weird because it was like you couldn't go into the settings and fix it with like an RGB settings tweak. It's like, no, it's just fucking blue, dude.
Yeah, you finding that was the first time I had heard of it. It took us
Crazy.
probably entirely too long to notice it was happening because it was happening slowly over time.
Yeah, you were like slowly getting acclimated to it, and somehow I just activated my Siri, so that's cool. I at the corner of my eye to see like the flashing RGB around the corner.
But it's
like,
so pretty though.
I do. I do like the shiny colors, but I'm not
I like
to talk to you.
I like the way it boops too when you hold down the button. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. It finally reached a point where we were aware of it, but I mean, what are we gonna do? Buy a new TV? That's insanity.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. What are you gonna do? Just go out and buy a TV? Where does one even find a TV these days? I'm not no huntsman. I can't go out in the woods with my vest and my rifle looking for TVs.
This isn't Nom. This is Best Buy. There are rules,
There
man.
are rules. Oh man, but yeah.
Well,
so.
I am glad that you guys got a TV
Boy, I am too.
That is not perpetually blue. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this one turns out has the other colors with it as well.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now, I'm gonna be that guy when you come over next. I'm gonna pull up some of those demos on YouTube. Yellow is the prettiest color this thing puts out, and that's pretty amazing considering I've always heard yellow is one of the hardest for an LED TV to do. That's why is it the Aquos or whatever had the 4 colors that it did. It did red,
white, green, blue.
It did yellow. One of the LEDs was just yellow.
Oh, it was just yellow.
So anytime that you went out to like Best Buy or wherever and they were on the wall, they always had this really striking yellow. And they could use it to mix in with the other colors too to make different shades of colors and everything also much better because they had just a dedicated yellow. And I want to say it's the Aquos that did it. Their demos were all usually an aquarium with a bunch of yellow fish swimming around and stuff.
Oh yeah, smart.
Yeah, it was. They're always real pretty. This looks like that. It's nuts. One of the demos was this lady walking through a field of sunflowers, and the sunflowers just fucking pop.
Nice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
dude, TV tech in the last 5 years has gotten insane.
Boy, you're telling me.
You can get like a fucking really nice 4K TV that's like 60 inches for like $500. Like no questions asked. Like they're not a budget shitty TV. They're like good TVs.
You can also get a 98-inch Sony OLED 4K for $20,000 if you want.
Oh yeah, what's that
it's
like?
Not even. It's not even 8K. It's fucking 4K for $20,000. I'm not getting 8K.
Is it QNED? Is that one? There's a new tech that like is like insanely expensive.
Something I think like that too. Oh, I also in my research turned up something interesting. You'll see Quantum LED printed everywhere, except for 2 brands. I know Samsung's one of them, and I think LG might be the other. They will say QLED. They have trademarked QLED. Apparently, the 2 of them somehow together trademarked it. So, if it's an LED with a quantum dot matrix, it will either say Quantum LED on the box or QLED. But if it says QLED, that means they are paying money to Samsung and LG to put that on the box, because Samsung and LG own the trademarks for the term QLED.
Nice. That doesn't like LG produce like all of the screens or something?
I was telling Chris about that and I couldn't remember. I wanted to say it was LG, but I wasn't sure, which is why I was like, man, there's this one tech podcast I listen to that has Not That Will Smith on it. And he has kind of changed the way I think about fuck ups in tech, like my TV and stuff, because it's like people are like, they should have done this. And he's like, yeah, they should have thought of that 5 years ago when these decisions were made into the pipeline because it takes that long to do this or whatever. So it's like when my TV was turning blue and it was making me blue about it, I was just sitting there like, man, all the panels being used are made by like one or two companies. So who knows how many TVs this affects? And it's been happening over 8 years. I don't even know how you test for that. Like, I don't even know how you know it's happening until it's out in the wild years later. Like, so it's like I can't even really. I'm not happy about it, but I can't really be mad about it either. So
yeah, it's just a funny situation to think of for me. Is like, technically Samsung is like a competitor of LG, but Samsung, when they want to do like a specific one of these like version of these TVs, they have to work in collaboration with LG, who is producing all of the TVs.
Well, so they're like, fucking willing to though. They'll do it because
they make all that money. Like
exactly.
Every single pretty much every single TV gets LG money in that bracket, in that type of tech. It's like it's pretty crazy.
Sony and the others like aren't really willing to, but Samsung will partner with someone if there's a tech they want. And I mean their stuff. I'm more of a Sony guy than a Samsung guy, but the Samsung stuff's usually pretty good. I usually don't have any problems with Samsung.
I've been toying with the idea of getting a 240 hertz 1440p monitor for gaming because they're coming down in price. They used to be last year like $1,000, and they're already dropping down to like 500 to 550 on sale. Yeah, because now they have fucking 480 OLED 1440p. 480 like hertz.
Something happened because all of a sudden, like monitors forever, where do you want it to look good or do you want it to play good, right? And something happened where you're now going to be able to get both of those. I don't know what happened, but the price is falling. Panels are getting faster. Like if you were doing 1080 at best to get 240 hertz before, if you have the money, you can get 4K that does higher than 240 right now. And the price is falling faster and faster all the time.
I think they now have 4K 240 hertz.
I don't know what led to some break. I don't know if something happened in cell phones or tablets that led to something in computer monitors or
I don't know.
Other way around. Something happened because the last couple of years, computer monitors have been crazy, dude.
Yeah, because the 1440p 240 hertz ones are already insane, and I like that they're already pushing the envelope to like 360 and 480 hertz ones of that, because then I can get the 240 hertz one, which would be just fine for me.
It's like they were suddenly price. Like, if I want to play a competitive shooter, why can't it look good while I do it? Like, I don't know.
Right.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
This isn't a tech podcast. I mean, unless that's what we're switching, like switching it up.
Pivot?
Like, imagine if you just clicked on the Big Lebowski and we just talked about monitors for an hour and a half and we just never talked about the movie and then we just ended the show. It'd be pretty funny.
Well, this is Screenplay Rewind. We never said what screen.
Oh shit. Did we give everyone the hi-hat? Did we give YouTube the hi-hat?
I just broke Jeff. Oh shit,
man.
Let's just talk about screens.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Screens, you can't help but look at them.
Man, even when they're blue.
Even when they're blue.
Oh man.
Blue's my favorite color.
I'm glad, because you stared at it every day for about 6 months. But before we talk about the Big Lebowski, every week we have a Q&A section. So why don't you kick us off with some comments, Ron?
Well, we have 2 new comments left on Miller's Crossing, and that is all we got. And I'll give you one guess where they both came from.
I got nothing.
The ever enigmatic executive intern Bobby said
that
guy, the walrus, if you will,
who's probably mad that we're releasing this like a day late, but
yeah,
sorry, Bobby.
He's probably furious. He's the only one though, so it's fine. His first comment on Miller's Crossing was, "Who's Blake Shelton?"
See, that's the fucking thing. I ask for Bobby to clarify something in the next episode's comments, but because of the way Bobby is Bobby, I don't know if he's being serious or not. So I still don't know.
You still
if he
don't know the
intentionally
answer.
I still don't know if if he intentionally had the link to Blake Shelton in the earlier episode and is now trolling us.
You tell
or
us,
was trolling
Bobby.
us back then.
You tell us. You're the one that linked us to Blake Shelton in your comment.
Yeah.
Was it the I Lived It? Please, I didn't watch this movie. I Lived It. Is that the I Lived It that linked to Blake Shelton?
Yeah, and then it hyperlinked to fucking Blake Shelton, and I was so confused.
And it wasn't even like a song titled anything like that, right? Or is something random?
I think it might have actually been.
Was
I think
it?
that might have been part of the song title. I'll look it up real fast. But
just go hit Bobby's link. His second comment.
Yes, the name of the song is I Lived It.
The name of the song is I Lived It. Please, I didn't watch this movie. Blake Shelton did.
Hold on, I gotta get Blake Shelton out of my search history on YouTube before I just get nothing but Blake Shelton videos. Get the shit out of here.
But yeah, his second comment was 2 hours and it's all about a hat. You damn right.
Yeah. I felt that as we were recording. I was like, this episode is a fucking shit show. And I told Bobby to make sure to have watched the movie so that he could follow along with the podcast. And then he told me he specifically refused to watch the movie because he wanted the discombobulated experience, I guess. So that's fair.
But if you remember, we also told him we're not sure that anything would change had he actually watched the movie.
Yeah.
That it would have been any different. Oh, man.
I like that hi-hat guy is in Big Lebowski, by the way. I was like, oh shit, it's that dude.
Yes. Yes, I love that man. He didn't randomly slap anyone this time.
Yeah, it was a missed opportunity, man.
Jesus, Tommy, when he hits him with the chair. I will never get that out of my head. He just turns and walks away.
So offended.
Oh, it's so good. All right. That's all I've got.
What was the second? What was the next Bobby posted? Was it just the Blake Shelton thing, or I thought he had another?
No, he
comment?
said 2 hours and it's all about a hat.
Oh, just the hat thing. Okay, that's right. I couldn't remember if he actually had like a question, or if it was just those comments.
Oh well, I don't think we've gotten a question in a long time. I think the last one was Aurora.
Yeah, the new current question. Why y'all talking about fucking computer monitors for 10 minutes? Talk about the fucking movie I clicked on here for.
That'll be Bobby.
To which I replied, my bad.
To which I'll reply, Screenplay Rewind.
Yeah. We talk about screens. Even when they're blue.
Be kind, Screenplay Rewind.
Why didn't we think of that? That's a good little
that's a t-shirt.
Tagline. It only took us 6 years to come with a fucking t-shirt idea. That's not bad. No, wasn't it fucking gymnastically murdered velociraptors?
Yes.
Wasn't that a shirt idea that we wanted to do? I'm looking back through because
testicular standoff.
Our text channels in our Discord are as follows: arithmetic chicken, of course,
Dude,
as a callback
that
to
one still
Buster
makes me
Scruggs.
sad though. That still makes me sad. Fucking Liam
Behold
Neeson.
Behold the Twilight of Man.
I don't remember that one.
That is the Furby from Mitchell's versus the Machines.
To the great darkness, I return.
I return. I fucking love that scene so much. Then we have Fables of Foku, which is of course from the cinematic achievement that is Dragon Ball Evolution.
Grudge Juno.
The aforementioned gymnastically murdered velociraptors, which we have as GMV Inc. I don't remember what the incorporated
I don't remember
what
the
that
incorporated tie-in, yeah.
But there you go. Yeah, we had Grudge Juno from The Descents. Murdermatronics from, was it Willy's Wonderland?
Yes.
Is that what that's from? Reverse Blow Dart in P4, which was Crystal Skull, and Testicular Standoff, which was Tammy and was it Tammy or Tawny? What was the original title? That
Dealer's Choice.
Yeah.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know, so we don't know.
Yeah. Testicular Standoff from Tammy the T-Rex.
There's a testicular standoff in the Big Lebowski, too.
There is. Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, we will.
So it's probably a good thing. I told Ron a couple days ago. It's probably a good thing that I haven't seen this for like a week, because otherwise we would just be duck season, rabbit season quotes back and forth like we did for like Spaceballs and shit. Because usually when we cover a comedy, it's just us repeating the lines and jokes the entire time, which I'm sure is just great material.
Well, if someone listened to those episodes and didn't watch the movie, now they don't need to.
2 hours and it's all about a fucking hat.
Damn right. So who wears the hat in the Big Lebowski? Let's talk hats.
Does
the type of hat matter?
If you have a question or comment for Ron and myself, for whatever this podcast has turned into over the last few weeks, you can email us screenplayrewind@gmail.com or drop it in the YouTube comments of whichever upload that you're checking out. We check them out. So drop it in there.
Sorry. I'm scrolling through the quotes and I'm laughing all over again.
Market zero.
3,000 years of beautiful tradition from Moses to Sandy Kovo. You goddamn right I'm living in the fucking past.
Shomer Shabbos.
I'm gonna watch this movie again on my new TV.
Just first question: is this your favorite John Goodman performance? Because I think it's my favorite John Goodman performance because he just steals this whole movie for me. I love every scene he's in this movie.
Man,
he's so fucking good.
That's a question.
The other one that immediately jumps to mind, like
10
dramatic
Cloverfield
wise,
Lane.
is 10 Cloverfield Lane. But just favorite in general, dude. Walter Sobchak, iconic, dude. Fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling.
John Goodman is absolutely in Disney Dreamlight Valley. What?
Who's he in Disney Dreamlight Valley?
James P. Sullivan voice. I don't know who.
Oh, that's Monsters Inc. That's right. He's the big monster in Monsters Inc.
Oh, the big hairy one.
Yeah. Who's buddies with Mike Wazowski?
Is the Gossamer one.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, he's absolutely one of the greatest actors of our time. Maybe one of the greatest that has ever lived. And he does not get enough credit. Everyone you talk to about John Goodman fucking loves the man. Still does not get enough credit.
Like, it's a shame because he's so good at comedy that I think people kind of like skew more towards comedy when they think of his roles. But like in the stuff he's been in, like 10 Cloverfield Lane, when
he's fucking
has a
terrifying
more,
in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
When he is in a more dramatic like movie or TV show or something, like he's phenomenal. He's not just funny, like he is intimidating. He's wonderful at, like, sometimes he's very, very, like, I mean, it's John Goodman, you know John Goodman, but like he does disappear a bit into the roles when it's more dramatic, so he's really underrated even though he's iconic.
Speed Racer, was that a ninja? More like a nanja.
And we gotta watch Speed Racer again because I want to watch John Goodman in Speed Racer.
I mean, I watched that fucking Flintstones movie and it's bad, but he's great in it as Fred.
The casting's not bad. Like, if you look at which people they picked for the roles, like, the casting's not bad.
The casting in that movie is oddly good, but
yeah,
man, that movie itself is not great.
Oh, it's terrible, but I mean, they shouldn't have made a fucking Flintstones movie. Like, they. Like,
I'm sorry. There is a music video called the B-52s Meet the Flintstones, and he's Fred Flintstone again in it. In 1994. That's the same year Flintstones came out.
I did not know that.
Did you know the B-52s did something besides Love Shack?
I did not.
By the way, I'm gonna tell this because it made me laugh really hard. We were just sitting at the dinner table minding our own business, and then my daughter goes, "What's a Love Shack?" Because she had that song stuck in her head, and she was just playing it in her head, and then was like, "What's a Love Shack?" And I was like, tell you when you're older, but there's one in Aladdin, so we can watch Aladdin.
Where did she hear it? Exactly.
It just sometimes I play the 90s hit station on Apple Music. Which
was Love Shack in the 90s? I always thought, like, I mean, it's probably incorrect, but like I always associated B-52 with like late 80s.
So I literally said which, and then you said that. I was about to say I did not know was a 90s song. I would have bet money late 70s, early 80s.
Love Shack was released in 89.
So close enough,
right
I guess.
Right there on the verge. Yeah, right there on the verge.
It probably peaked in the 90s.
Did it peak? I don't
Shack,
like
baby.
I that's the singer makes me want to like jump off a fucking cliff. I can't.
I actually really like that song. I make fun of it a lot, but I actually really like that song.
The beat to it is good. I just hate the singer. It's like Rush, people fucking love Rush. I hate their singer, even though they have Neil Peart, like the greatest drummer of all time, and like melodically, like their songs are well constructed. I can't because their fucking singer just makes me want to. Ugh, it's the worst.
Love Shack, baby. Yeah. The way he says "Love Shack Baby," it reminds me. Have you ever heard that "One Night in Bangkok" song?
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that guy.
The world's your oyster. Yeah, that one.
I get my kicks above the waistline, sunshine.
Isn't that song about like chess
It's
or something?
about a chess tournament. Yeah.
What a weird fucking song.
I like that song too, though.
It has a good like rhythm to it, but like, what? We were talking about chess. Like, it's a good beat though. I don't know, that stuck in my head for a fucking week. I mean, at least it's that and not the goddamn Love Shack song.
But just imagine this 8-year-old girl has Love Shack stuck in her head, and everyone's just minding their own business at dinner, and then, Dad, what's a Love Shack? And like we all just pause. Like, I don't know.
You really adopted the B-52s.
It's a shed full of stuffed animals, baby.
Yep.
That's it.
That's
full
what we're
of stuffed
going
unicorns.
That's what we're going with.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What were we talking about? We're talking about computer monitors. Big Lebowski. That's what we're.
Andy the Talking Hedgehog.
Fuck, dude. You're gonna pick that at some point, I know, just to troll me. I'm gonna have to sit down and fucking watch Andy the Talking Hedgehog with goddamn Superman, fucking Dean Cain. Dean Cain's gotta fucking work to continue his acting insurance thing, like.
Dude, the first time I sent that link to you, I did not notice it was Dean Cain. And then when I looked it up tonight again to go look at the trailer, I was like, this fucking Dean Cain.
The cover is Dean Cain smiling, I think, and then up next to him is Tara Reid, who looks mortified that she's starring in Andy the Talking Hedgehog.
What is that
because
face Tara Reid is making?
She used to be in stuff like The Big Lebowski, and now she's in Andy the Talking Hedgehog.
Someone, like, what is this fucking hedgehog on the poster, dude? Do you see it bearing its fangs?
They should have had that. They should have hired the hedgehog in the little magic hat, the little magician hat with the fucking magician's cane thing.
Oh,
that's the hedgehog. That's the hedgehog. That's like
it should have been. It should have been like. Have you ever seen the tiny hamster videos on YouTube or whatever?
Yeah.
Where like they give it like a tiny burrito and stuff. They should have done this movie that way, but it's all hedgehog all the time.
Fucking Andy the Talking
Hedgehog. Or
Hedgehog.
did Ugly Sonic instead? I don't know.
Yeah, that too. Sonic. Yeah. So, what led to you picking The Big Lebowski? Was it just because we were? You actually didn't remember that it was the Coen brothers. Actually, didn't you say that in the last episode? Like you just happened to pick it. And you didn't
completely forgot until we covered Miller's Crossing, and I was just like, man, I'm in the mood for a comedy. Like, there was some unintentional laughs in that movie. There was some very intentional laughs that landed really hard. And I was just like, I feel like it's been a while since we've just done a comedy. And, like, I love Jeff Bridges, John Goodman. I fucking forgot that Philip Seymour Hoffman was in it. I love Steve Buscemi. It's just like, why not? And it was, I think it was John Turturro that made me think of it.
Oh yeah, because he's in Miller's Crossing.
Yeah, because he's in Miller's Crossing, and I was just like, let's just fucking do it, man. Let's just do it. And then the entire episode is you like, and then in The Big Lebowski, the Coens did this, and like, I got to get this on the show, man. We got to watch this. I'm sitting there like, Wait, do I tell him
Not
now?
even knowing it.
Do I tell him later?
It's so funny that you had forgotten that it was, because it's so obvious it is the Coen brothers when you watch The Big Lebowski after having watched Miller's Crossing.
After you said it, I was like, well, fuck, of course it was.
Because, it had fucking Steve Buscemi and Turturro.
Well, not only that, like, the way the story is told and the way the story is broken up and the hard cuts back to, like, Miller's Crossing will just hard cut back to his apartment, right? Mm-hmm. And this one just hard cuts back to the bowling alley all the time.
There's a lot of DNA that's like similar to it, where it's like It's like,
and
you
it's
know
a
what, like,
crime
I almost
thing,
wonder.
right? They love their
I almost
crime stuff.
I almost wonder. So we talked a lot when we were talking about like the Miller's Crossing kind of through line of it, how like they had like moments of edging towards like the weirdness of like the Coen brothers, you know, but it wasn't a through line throughout the entire thing because they were trying to keep it a legitimate throwback to like noir movies. This almost feels like to me like everything that happens in the Big Lebowski is the weird shit they wanted to include and were thinking of when they made Miller's Crossing, but they didn't want to incorporate it because then it leads into like it being a weird fucking Coen Brothers movie, you know? Because even the kind of like step by step momentum throughout the Big Lebowski is very similar to what happens in Miller's Crossing.
Yeah.
It's just people are accidentally double crossing each other without even realizing like who all is in play, like with like the nihilists and shit, like their whole plan, and it's all based around fucking, you know, Bunny not even actually being kidnapped in the first place.
She
Which is
probably
genius.
just kidnapped herself. I mean, you said it yourself. I said she might have.
I can get you until by 3 p.m. if you want me to, man. Fucking amateurs, man.
Her life was in our hands.
They're gonna kill that
They're
poor
gonna kill
woman.
that poor girl. Miller's
Yeah.
Crossing was 1990. This feels like they really refined what they were trying to do in Miller's Crossing, because this has a lot of the same energy, not just a lot of the same style, but it has a lot of the same energy, like you were saying. But Miller's Crossing, we were baffled when it ended. It feels like they had finally figured out how to do the thing they were wanting to do, right, with this movie.
Yeah. But and how funny is it that
But
like
to frame it as more of a comedy, because Miller's Crossing has comedy. I don't know that I would call it a comedy.
no, it's a noir. Yeah, it's like a
The way IMDb has Big Lebowski listed as a stoner comedy, they're doing drugs. I don't know that I would call it a stoner comedy.
no, like, come on, man. They're really missing the. But what I was gonna say though is like, how funny is it that like we were left absolutely baffled by the main character's motivations in Miller's Crossing, when like the whole point of the dude is that he's aimless.
Yes.
But his motivations are he wants people to just leave him the fuck alone, and he wants to get his rug back.
So
you know, like,
what's funny, I was thinking about that actually. So the dude is aimless, like you said. He's got no ambition. He didn't even really think about getting his rug back until Walter puts it in his head. And then that's that's not really what leads to everything, but you know, the thing that happens first leads to him going to the Big Lebowski and trying to get his rug back and stuff. But the thing I was thinking about, remember when we talked about the way Miller's Crossing ends? And it's like, is it just the Coens fucking with the audience the entire time, the entire movie? Like, because that is something they would do. And when we get to here, it's like, are they fucking writing a review of their own movie on stuff like Miller's Crossing? Because that movie, the characters' motivations felt aimless, and in this, the characters' motivations are aimless. Like,
what's funny? The one movie they don't pull the rug out from under you is the one about getting the rug back.
Right?
It's so funny because like, my fucking favorite parts of this entire movie, I think, are when the dude is just trying to do something like buy the book and keep it as simple as possible, and just fucking Walter cannot fucking just stand back and let him like do something as basic as like the fucking drop. Dude, I don't know if you got the same impression, but when he is doing the ransom exchange thing and he jumps out of the car with the fucking Uzi and then the Uzi shoots the dude's car, reminded me of every time we've tried to play PUBG together and are just nonsense that happens.
Well, not only that, the way he just all of a sudden leaps out of the car and leaves Jeff Bridges just sitting there. And when it cuts to him hitting the ground and rolling,
and the fucking Uzi just goes off. Every bullet that's fired pretty much heat seeks to the dude's car, and I feel so bad for the dude's car, dude, by the end of the movie.
They finally did it.
They finally fucking killed my car, man.
It really really reminded me of the Roadrunner or whatever it was in Tommy Boy, that David Spade's car. How that as that movie goes on, they do more and more damage to it.
Yeah,
Oh God.
so fucking good.
Yeah, him
Yeah,
hitting
so
the
this
ground and
is-
rolling, and then having to catch his breath.
Sorry, dude. I love to multiple times Walter just fucks everything up, and then he's just immediately just like, I'm sorry, dude.
That or
But
just
then
fuck it, let's go bowling.
The very next day, it's like he will never learn from the things he's fucked up because he'll try some more bullshit. Like
One
the
of these
very
days,
next
you're gonna have
day.
to face the fact that you're a fucking moron.
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole. God damn, it's so good. So this is probably, I haven't seen all of like their big hits, the Coens. I've seen like a good chunk of their big hits. This is probably my favorite though. Is the Big Lebowski.
Let me scroll through them real quick and see what I've
'Cause
seen, because
I
evidently I can
love-
watch them without realizing I'm watching them.
Because I love No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, I've seen that. I knew that was them. I found that out a long time later though, because I think by the time I saw No Country for Old Men, I don't think I really knew who the Coens were yet.
I like Raising Arizona a lot. Raising Arizona would actually be a good one. I think
I've
for
never
this
seen it.
podcast. So all you need to know with Raising Arizona is the Coen brothers, Nicolas Cage, and John Goodman, and then that's all you need to know.
Nice. I wanted to see Hail Caesar. I never got around to it.
Hail Caesar was okay. They hit this like period of time with like Hail Caesar and what was the other, like Burn After Reading, where it's like when you're watching them, like they're entertaining, but they don't stick with you at all,
Right.
like the way that like the Big Lebowski or like Raising Arizona even.
Well,
Some of their more
I
like
don't
classic
know
stuff.
what it is, because of their movies I have seen, I really, really like, and I will talk about it and everything. But there's something about, I don't know if it's their method of storytelling. I don't know what it is about their filmmaking. I almost forget the movie as soon as I'm done watching it, which is usually the way I feel about a movie that's not worth remembering. I like everything that I have seen, but for some reason, like even the quotes from Big Lebowski, like I went to bed and the next day, like a lot of the quotes that I had in my head were gone. Like I don't know what it is.
I think part of it is how rapid fire it is.
That's what I think it
'cause
is.
If you take a look, like the Big Lebowski is to me one of the best written comedies, like period,
Yes.
because it's fucking dense, dude. Like you will
See,
forget
I
the
think
quotes
it's the
just because
density
there's like
is the problem.
but the density, it's also not a problem though, because like when you're watching it, it's so like energetic and there's so many jokes on like a per page basis in each scene, whether it be physical comedy with like the performances, like a really well written joke. They have no qualms putting like really good jokes kind of in the background too. So there's like density, like like the joke that's front and center in a scene will be really good. And then especially with like the scenes with Donnie, like Steve Buscemi has really good material in this movie. It's just he's always kind of in the background because that's like what his character's like quirk
Right.
is he's just kind of like there to be annoying, and therefore Walter to say shut the fuck up, Donnie.
It's not even
But-
that he's there to be annoying. He misses the conversation usually. He's coming into it and they don't fill him in. So he just gets
Yeah.
bits and pieces of what's happening. And when
Yeah,
he
misses the first half
tries-
of the conversation because he's bowling.
Yep.
Like he comes back from bowling and then he missed the conversation, but Walter just refuses to catch him up.
Yeah, exactly. So he tries to get caught up and he just says, "Shut the fuck up, Donnie." And like it's really mean and it's really being a bad friend, but for some reason John Goodman is so charismatic. It's fucking funny when he does it, and I don't
You know what?
know how or why.
You're in a world of pain.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, but a little bit with the Walter and Donnie like relationship in the movie that I really like though is how Walter spends the entire movie just telling Donnie to shut the fuck up. Like he fucking can't stand Donnie. But as soon as they're in danger later, if you notice, John Goodman is like placing his arm in front of Donnie, like protecting him.
Yeah,
And he's like trying to reassure. So it's like the entire time Walter loves Donnie.
Yeah.
He's one of his buddies. It's just his relationship with him is telling him to shut the fuck up, Donnie. And that's like you think that's the extent of it, and like he doesn't like him, but at the end of it, I don't know how much of that was like directed, and how much of that was John Goodman, but like
yeah.
it's really cool to like he's trying to reassure him everything's gonna be okay, and he's like he steps in front of him like a parent, almost like when the nihilists are there like threatening them, and it's really sweet how he's like trying to protect them.
I don't know how much of it is John Goodman, but it could be, because in a lot of the special features that I watched, it seems like what I was getting from the actors, it was like a retrospective like 10 years later or something from the actors.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of this. This is you have to book report the stuff.
Yeah, it seemed to me like they were all talking like they were just trying things and doing things, and the Coens are like, yeah, go with that. Like it seems like they gave them. They did the thing we used to talk about a lot on our other podcast, and we bring up from time to time here. When you hire talented people, let them be talented, right?
Especially when you trust them so much.
Yeah.
Like because they've worked how many times with these actors?
Exactly. It seems like the Coens
Turturro,
really trusted them, because
like Steve Buscemi, John Turturro, John Goodman, some of these actors like they worked with constantly.
Yeah, and
like,
all of them,
multiple things.
all of them in this featurette I was watching were just like, yeah, so, what I thought would really work for the character was this. And it's something you saw in the movie. Like, it seems like they just had a lot of leeway to do what they wanted with it. And, like, my God, that means John Goodman's even better than we've been talking about, dude.
Yeah, dude. Walter in this fucking movie, dude. Market zero. This is not Nom. This is bowling. Smokey, there are rules. Like, dude, every fucking thing Walter says in this movie is quotable. Like every fucking line.
Dude, the face he makes every time he pulls up the gun and pulls back the slide. That face he makes. I want that to be my social media profile, I think. Oh God, it's so good.
I told those fucks at the league office. One of my favorite exchanges in the entire movie is when Donnie walks up and he's like, "Hey, they posted the next round for tournament." Donnie, wait, when do we play? he's so programmed to say, "Shut the fuck up, Donnie," when they have him like, "Oh wait, he's actually saying something I care about."
And what's weird too, by the way, Donnie keeps showing up and bowling with them. Like, this is just
homies.
their relationship.
Yeah, they're just homies, dude. But
the dude has zero reaction to any of this as it's happening, because everybody's just used to it. This is just the way it is.
The dude is just so nonchalant about everything.
The dude abides.
He doesn't ever really even seem like he likes Donnie and Walter, especially Walter. Walter is basically the antagonist of the movie.
Basically.
Because almost everything that goes wrong is because of Walter.
Because isn't the definition of the antagonist the one that moves against the story? They're not necessarily always a villain, right?
Yeah.
This is really like, usually when you hear antagonist, you automatically think villain, but I mean those words are not synonymous. That's what Walter is in this, and he's one of the main characters and friends with the dude, and he's the antagonist to the story. It's like, what?
Just real quick, one of the Coen Brothers movies I like a lot and forgot to mention was did you ever watch True Grit?
Dude, I was gonna bring that up a second ago, and then I don't know, we went off on something else. That True Grit movie is so good.
I love Jeff Bridges in that movie so much.
Jeff Bridges is so good. Matt Damon is pretty tolerable.
I like
until he slaps the girl from Bumblebee.
They discovered Haley Steinfeld with that.
Yes, that's their name, Haley Steinfeld.
Josh Brolin, Barry Pepper, like that movie is fucking killer cast.
Yeah, that movie is so good.
I gotta watch that again. I haven't seen that since it came out. I need to watch.
I would wait. We should just have it on the show.
We should. Apparently, this is just the Coen Brothers' year.
The year of the Coens.
Because you need to watch Raising Arizona, and we both need to watch fucking True Grit again. So
yeah, it's such a good movie.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to mention True Grit before I forgot.
Yeah, no, I ended up closing that tab because we moved so far away from it. There was a point I was going to bring that up. Philip Seymour Hoffman in this movie, by the way, it's so weird. Every movie I have seen the man in, he's always super heavy and super intense. In this, he's literally just like the personal assistant. Like, there's none of that intensity. It's a very like light character, right? That is very this is the job. This job needs to get done, and he's very protective of the Big Lebowski's like interests, right? So like when Tara Reid just falls off and says, "I'll suck your dick for $1,000," and he's just like,
his
"Oh,
his yeah his laugh there is great. Did
yeah,
you ever watch one of my buddies at work actually reminded me about this over the last few days coincidentally, but have you ever seen Philip Seymour Hoffman's scenes in Along Came Polly?
no,
He is so fucking funny in that movie, and I was telling my friend because he sent me the video of it where it was just like a clip show of just the Philip Seymour Hoffman comedy scenes, but like you think back to like he could be like sinister and very very bleak, and then just be fucking goofy. Like he was a real fucking talented guy. I'm sad that he passed away when he did, because
yeah."
man, Philip Seymour Hoffman's so good.
What movie is it that Kevin Smith always quotes? Is it Mission Impossible 3?
Mission Impossible. I'm gonna find her. I'm gonna hurt her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin Smith has. I can't look at Philip Seymour Hoffman without hearing Kevin Smith doing
I'm gonna
that.
find her.
Here's the thing, too. In some of the Hunger Games movies, he's in them, and he's easily the best part every time he's on screen. And he's that
Hell
fucking
yeah.
intense character I'm talking about. He's the only one not treating this like a young adult novel when he's in those movies.
Yeah. Oh, and the other best part of it was, oh god, what's the fucking announcer dude that we love? Stanley Tucci. What's his fucking character's name in that? I like
yes,
Stanley Tucci.
yes, Stanley Tucci.
He's so Stanley Tucci is just fucking chewing the goddamn scenery.
Not only okay, so Stanley Tucci will get you through all of the movies, but I'm so happy that those movies exist to give us Stephen Colbert doing it.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go to that because that was fantastic. His impression
of Stanley Tucci doing that is incredible, and the fact that he got into a Republican like national convention as that character was amazing. He's going around interviewing all these Republicans and stuff as that character. They had no idea what was going on. Obviously, they knew it was Colbert. They had no idea what was happening. He was in the wig and everything.
And just something I wanted to note too before I forget about it. This movie should have brought home multiple Oscars just because they made me like Julianne Moore. I actually like Julianne Moore in this. I think she's pretty funny in this.
Okay, Jeff, how much do you think they paid Julianne Moore? And how worth all of it is it to hear her walk up to Jeff Bridges and say, "Vagina"?
She has wonderful comedic timing in this, and I don't associate that with her even a little bit because most times she's so dry in her performances. I think we've talked about multiple times about how much we usually don't like her, but we like her occasionally, and I really like her in this. I think she's really funny.
There are times that you can literally just tell she's paying the bills, and I don't get it because the times that she turns it on, she is amazing, and
she disappears in this. Like you don't even. She doesn't even come across as Julianne Moore even a little bit.
I don't know. She's pretty Julianne Moore-y in this, but not
for me because I actually like her in the movie. That's very rare for me.
Like she frustrates me so much as a performer because I know that she can be amazing. She just chooses not to most of the time. And I don't know.
She doesn't give a shit.
I don't know if it's when she takes a job for a check versus when she wants the job. Like I don't know what it is. She's not always on the way like a Philip Seymour Hoffman is or a John Goodman.
Maybe she was like, genuinely interested because she got to work with the Coen brothers because that's a pretty like a lot of people really seek out like opportunities to work with the Coen brothers just because of how weird their shit is. And it's like I think it was like Brad Pitt was ecstatic to get to work with them and like Burn After Reading and everything. It's like people get excited to work with them. So I maybe that's like an element to it. Like she has to be genuinely interested in either the project or like getting to work with the directors. I don't know.
What's interesting too is in that featurette I watched, and you have the same thing that I do. When we're done, you should go back and watch these. In that featurette I watched, Julianne Moore was talking about how, think about the character of Maud, right? the artist in her and the high society, the way she behaves and stuff. Julianne Moore said that she felt that she should have this faux accent that she thinks makes her sound like more intelligent and more artistic and more everything than she is. But like you can see through it, kind of thing. That accent that she's doing, because she said
Yeah,
that
it's like clearly fake.
yeah, she said that she's had people ask her, like, what accent is she doing in that movie? Is it this place or this place? She's like, it's not an accent, it's an affectation. Because she's like, this character, like, wouldn't actually talk this way, but this is the way she's going to present herself. And it's one of the things that the
Yeah.
Coens I was talking about were like, yeah, do that when she tried it.
It's perfect.
Because
There's a lot.
It's absolutely perfect for that character.
It's perfect.
And do you know what it cuts to after she's done talking about that, by the way? That featurette cuts to it improves the chance of conception and then him just spitting his drink.
I love that scene when he just dude, we haven't really talked about much. Like Jeff Bridges is fucking astounding in this too. Like we've led with, you know, like obviously like with John Goodman because he's so good in this, but I love Jeff Bridges in this.
Jeff Bridges is one of my all-time favorites. And
he's also one of those people that can like so easily blend between like comedy and something very serious.
Yes.
Like you'll see him in shit like this where he's just a fucking idiot stoner, but you watch him in shit like True Grit and it's like I was about to say like him and Iron Man is so good.
Yeah.
Like I can hear his affectation on Tony Stark built this in a fucking cave, like word
with a
for
box
word.
of scraps. The other thing, my all-time favorite scene in that movie is him talking to Pepper when she's in Tony's office. Like, what are we gonna do about
he's
this?
so good.
And like he's trying to walk around to see the computer, and she flips it over to screensaver real quick. And then when she's walking away, he knows she might have put something in the newspaper, so he asks for the newspaper. That scene is as intense as Michael Keaton in Spider-Man, right?
Man, it's so good.
Oh, it's so good.
Jeff Bridges is so fucking good.
Fucking love Jeff Bridges.
I love
and then you look at Tron, and then you look at this, and then you look at Iron Man, True Grit, fucking Hell or High Water.
Oh, dude, why have we not had Hell or High Water on? Like, I love
coming
that movie.
Up on my short list. We need to do a back-to-back of True Grit and Hell or High Water.
Let's do
They're
it.
both basically,
I'm all about it.
well, one of them is a Western. Hell or High Water is basically a Western.
Yeah,
it's like a modern-day Western.
Yeah, all about it.
That would be a really good double feature, actually.
We should cue that up like after like Friends and
That's our
Family
decompress.
Yeah.
And Chris might actually, it's been a while since she's watched one of these movies with me. She might actually watch both of those. Those are both really good movies. True Grit and Hell or High Water.
Fucking awesome movie.
Also, one of my favorite things about Jeff Bridges in real life, he's so impressionable. He goes through these phases. I remember him on Colbert's old show talking about how he was in like his like, was it Eagles or Falcons like phase where he was just kind of obsessed with like the sounds that they make and the way they fly and just like completely obsessed with the birds. And then he did I think when he did Hell or High Water, he didn't stop wearing a cowboy hat forever. And the way he talked even kind of changed. And people would call him out for it in interviews and stuff, and he was like, I just like it, man. I just like it. Like he gets into these weird phases and he doesn't want to let them go. And I don't know how that contributes to him being an actor, but he's one of the best, and it has to have something to do with it. Because it seems like when he gets into something, he gets into it.
Do you remember how fucking good he was in Bad Times at the El Royale too?
Dude.
That we talked about here. Like he's fucking awesome in that movie. He's so good.
Priest, not priest with Alzheimer's.
Yeah. What a perfect casting choice for that character too. In that, like, you could not have picked a better person for that role.
Phenomenal. That scene where she's singing and he's digging and it's the camera's moving through all the rooms. So good.
I've actually his movie he got his Oscar for, Crazy Heart, is one I've been wanting to watch for a long time. I just forget about, but that's one of those things where it's like Jeff Bridges won an Oscar for this movie, so I'm eventually gonna fucking watch that just for that.
Right.
You know, I have to see that movie that got him that award. But man, Yeah, I fucking love Jeff Bridges.
Prepare yourself too, because I want to talk about Tron someday.
Yeah,
I want to have
like
Tron and
Tron.
Tron Legacy. And Tron, a lot of people find boring, and I get that, but that is actually a really important movie for like film history.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where like I appreciate it more than I like find it entertaining, but I don't think it's boring.
Yeah.
Like I think there's enough there to kind of carry you through.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Peter Stormare in this because I love.
You mean Nihilist number one? One of the most fucking amazing credits.
Where's the money, Lebowski? We believe in nothing, Lebowski. We believe in nothing.
Dude.
I love the Nihilist.
I just
so
want
much.
a 10-hour YouTube loop of him running in that red suit with the scissors.
Oh my goodness. Dude, the fake porno video they made for this with Peter Stormare.
And then that leads to the dude's dream where he's doing his own porno.
I also was gonna say too, an amazing joke is when Mada showed him the video, and then she's like, "Can you guess what happens next?" He fixes the cable.
The story is absolutely absurd, of course. Oh, yeah. No,
That's the money, Lebowski. The fucking marmot.
The marmot. One of my all-time favorite lines. I cannot tell you, Jeff. I texted you immediately. I cannot stress enough how hard I was laughing at, what the fuck is this? You're clearly not a golfer. I don't know why.
I can tell you're not a golfer. Yeah. It's fucking great. The script the script is so fucking smart, dudes. Like say what you want about the tenets of National Socialism, but at least it's an ethos.
Like, what?
I love it.
Jesus.
I love it. What is the fucking dude? The exchanges at the end with the nihilists and Walter, are fucking incredible.
And
like
then,
you vamp for a second. There's a couple in particular I have to quote because they're so fucking good.
So not only is that scene great because of the back and forth, but Walter actually kind of backs up what he's been talking. Like, not really, but he's got some fight in him, right?
Yeah,
because he beats the shit out of them. With a
no,
bowling
without
ball.
a hostage, there is no ransom. That's what ransom is. Those are the fucking rules.
Those are the fucking rules. John Goodman, when he was talking about Walter and it being like one of his favorite characters that he's done, this was a 10 years later retrospective. So at least at that time, he said it was one of his favorite characters that he's ever done because he finds Walter to be really interesting because like he's kind of a screw up, but kind of not. Like he's kind of in the right place mentally, but he's also kind of like just wrong enough to be totally wrong. Like he's a really interesting character. But he was talking about that scene where Peter Stormare comes at him with the sword, and he said you don't really see it in the movie, but he actually does get wounded when they filmed it. Like that, like Walter gets wounded with the sword when he takes him out. But he said they cut it from the movie. It was really important to John Goodman to put that in there for some reason, that Walter takes a hit when he's protecting Donnie.
Yeah. I think a lot of that was John Goodman because like that it really it sheds like a lot of light where it's like he's protective of Donnie and he trolls him almost like he views him as like a little brother,
right?
In their little friend group. I love the fucking time when with the nihilist at the end.
I am the walrus.
when Donnie asks, "Are these the Nazis, Walter?" No, Donnie, these men are nihilists. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Everything John Goodman says in this movie is quotable. Can we talk about a character actor that I don't have a lot of experience with, but when he shows up, I'm happy to see him? Can we talk about David Huddleston in this movie as the Big Lebowski?
Yeah, he's really good in this. Like, what else has he been in, actually? Because I feel like I've seen him in something else.
I guarantee you have. He's one of those people that I couldn't tell you anything he's been in. He's in Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
But I couldn't really tell you anything besides that. But when he shows up, he fucking shows up, man. He's like one of the most... I'm starting to sound like Lebowski now. He's I keep adding man to the end of everything ever since I watched this movie, man.
Well, it's just like your opinion, man.
That's just like your opinion. The Nut House, Nutt. What? Yeah, he
Been in a
shows.
lot of random stuff. He's like Magnum PI. Been like
Yeah, he shows up in the original Fall Guy. Even
he was in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
wow. Yeah, he shows up in a lot, and when he does show up, like I said, he shows up. He is incredible in this movie. Like absolutely incredible. He is in a scene. He's in scenes with John Goodman and Jeff Bridges, and he is the most important part of the scene, not them. Like it's crazy how he just steals. Well, I guess he pulls the rug out from under them. Technically,
Yeah.
I love,
man.
by the way, when he kicks Jeff Bridges out. And then, how did your meeting with Mr. Lebowski go? Oh, great, man. He said I could have any rug of my choosing.
And he just walks out with one
And then
next.
a hard
Yeah,
cuts
it's
to
so
him
good.
walking out with a rug.
It's the
And then the
editing in this
voicemail that he leaves. If you're not answering because of the rug, I assure you, we don't mind.
the editing in this movie is astounding and leads to a lot of the humor.
Who did
'Cause
the
of just,
editing
like,
on this? Did the Coens do it, or do they have an editor that they work with? Because a lot of times, I don't know if you call them auteurs or what you want to call them. These type of people, they have like a particular set of people that they work with all the time. So like the editor knows what they're going for, knows what they want, kind of thing.
So they are both credited as editors, but I guess they were using like a what's like the fake alias.
Okay.
There's like a term for it.
Yeah,
I'm blanking on it, but like when you go by the different name.
whatever.
Trisha Cook is the like officially labeled editor, but the Coen brothers look to have also edited on it as well, so it's like a group effort with them. But it's so specific, like you can tell, like when the Coen brothers release a movie, for better or for worse, like they give a shit, and like they are spending a lot of time on detail and like timing. Whether it be a serious movie like No Country for Old Men that has incredible editing too, or this where it's like so much of the humor can just be derived by the timing of shots and like when they hard cut to stuff, like you said.
And for how like similar the way the movies are made between No Country for Old Men and The Big Lebowski, they are night and day different movies. Like
their ability to switch, it was showcased in Buster Scruggs.
yeah,
The tone shifts from thing to thing when you go from like the vignettes to like Buster Scruggs versus the Liam Neeson one. Like they directed both of those. It's crazy. Like they can direct any fucking genre and any tone they want, and they just usually nail the tone. Like the movie or project they're working on might not be great, but like they accomplish the tone they're setting out to like make for the thing every time, pretty much.
yeah.
Did you realize Flea was one of the nihilists? Because I totally missed that Flea was one of the nihilists.
Yeah, it credited him like I should know who he is.
Flea is one of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think.
Okay.
And he was I know I mostly associate him with being Donnie Thornberry in the Wild Thornberries, which if you have seen any of those scenes, they're fucking crazy with them.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Wild Thornberries.
You know the crazy little kid doing the screams? That's Flea.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen like, I've seen a handful of episodes at best.
I'm sure if I showed you like a clip, you'd remember.
Smashing, and then the meme splashing. Fucking Tim Curry, dude. They got Tim Curry on that show.
They did. Also, Flea was in Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is news to me because I didn't remember him being in that. Yeah.
Did he have a red suit and giant scissors?
Shit, he was in Baby Driver. He's one of the fucking people in the heist with the. He's the one that does the Halloween mask exchange with fucking Jamie Foxx.
Is he
I totally
really?
forgot that was
the Mike Myers conversation.
Yeah,
which Mike Myers?
The killer dude from Hell. Yeah. That's fucking Flea. I totally forgot.
Okay. John Turturro.
I knew that's where you're going. Nobody fucks with it, Jesus.
If they randomly decided to make some sort of sequel, maybe not direct to this movie, would it have to star the character Jesus Quintana?
You know they made that, right?
Did they really?
I haven't seen it. It's apparently awful, but I have to watch it eventually because it's a fucking John Turturro Lebowski spinoff, which is they made it like a few years ago.
Really?
It reviewed horribly. I think he directed it even. What the fuck was it called? Hold on, I'll find it.
Yeah, I will watch that.
Yeah, I want to watch it too. The Jesus Rolls is the name of it. It came out 6 years ago.
Huh. Did not know.
It's him as that character. He's the director and he's the co-writer. I don't know how much of it actually like ties in with Lebowski, but he is the same character.
Interesting.
So that's that much I know.
In that featurette, John Turturro said that, as an actor, you show up on set and you do stuff and you try stuff, and what works is kept and what doesn't work, they throw out. It ends up on the cutting room floor. He was like, so I showed up, I did stuff, I tried stuff, and they didn't throw any of it out. He said they kept all of it. He said the thing shining the balls was a thing he just did.
Oh, really?
And he said the one that really comes to mind, remember this is 10 years later, this is that same featurette. He said that the thing that really comes to mind is when he starts performing oral sex on the ball when he first picks it up before he rolls it. He said he did that to get into character. He absolutely knew they wouldn't put it in the movie. He knew the camera was rolling.
They got a close-up of that shit.
Yeah, he said he knew the camera was rolling, and he did it for himself, to get himself in that character, because he felt like it was something the character would do. But it was obviously wouldn't appear in the movie. And he said everything he did, all of it, was in the movie.
I love how much they were just letting the actors just go crazy, because that's like the tone of the movie. It's fucking bad shit.
But they're talented people.
Yeah.
So it comes through. That talent comes through. And you can tell, this is one of those movies, you can tell that the actors are just having a blast on set, right?
Mm-hmm.
David Thewlis, or however you say his name, is in this, by the way.
Thewlis. Yeah, I think it's like Thewlis.
Yeah, he's in this movie, by the way.
He's like unrecognizable in this because he's so
like, what is that laugh he does?
He's acting like he's trying to be like the Riddler in the 60s Batman.
Dude,
like he's something else.
Hold on. If we do like an animated Batman 66 thing where they have to recast Adam West and a bunch of other people to do it, that's our Riddler right there.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love that. We haven't thought about Sam Elliott, and Sam Elliott's awesome in this too. And he's barely in the movie.
I forgot see him. In my memory, he was just the narrator.
It's so cool because like he's
I'm
the
sorry,
opening
he was
narration.
just the stranger. Which can I point out? Isn't the stranger another way of referring to the devil?
Yeah, it could be.
I'm not saying that's what they're going for. I'm just saying, isn't that because like, what is it? What is they use in Red Dead Redemption? What is he? I don't think they go with Mr. Scratch. It's something else. But I want to say the stranger is another way some stories refer to the devil. But I don't think that's what they're going for. I just think it's an interesting choice to just call him that.
The strange man. The strange man is the one in Red Dead.
I think they're just doing it more as like a nod to like cowboy movies, which they're obviously a fan of westerns, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's even some of that Western DNA in this movie. Not as strong as others, but it's in here. And then they redid True Grit. They had the balls to redo a John Wayne movie.
Like one of the classics that you're not supposed to touch. And they made it incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Sam Elliott in this. Their last exchange together is one of those things where it's like because he's
hey man, I was hoping I'd see you again.
He's also like obviously potentially like a stand-in for God,
potentially.
Like,
yes,
he's omniscient. He knows there's
so now you got me thinking of Gonzo. I'm the narrator. I'm omniscient.
He knows there's like a little Lebowski on the way and shit. But Yeah, I think he's a fun character, and anytime you can get Sam Elliott to be the narrator for your thing, you should do it
I want
because
Sam
no
Elliott to narrate
one's
my life.
right.
It wouldn't
But
be
I would,
interesting unless Sam Elliott is the one doing it.
but I would feel bad for wasting his time with my dumbass. Because Sam Elliott is worthy of fucking better things than narrating my dumbass.
How much do you think you would have to pay Sam Elliott to let him let you touch his mustache?
12 grand, like Gene Simmons letting you be a roadie.
You know,
is that the same kind of?
That might be worth it.
Yeah, I'd much rather pay 12 grand to touch Sam Elliott's mustache than to be a roadie for Gene Simmons and work for that idiot.
I am fairly convinced that Sam Elliott is just the mustache's agent and that all the talent comes from the mustache.
I'm pretty sure if you touch the mustache, you should immediately go play like the Powerball. Because like I think you get magical powers for a temporary amount of time if you touch Sam Elliott's mustache.
I thought you were going to say you become Sam Elliott.
You become Sam Elliott.
You touch the mustache, you become Sam Elliott. This is how the mustache transfers to you. It's like in Power Rangers when they hand the morpher off to someone new. Like you now have Sam Elliott powers. Look,
I now want I want somebody to remake Being John Malkovich, but it's being Sam Elliott. Because I would watch that movie.
Look, people have strong feelings about that Ghost Rider movie, and I like that movie. But it's one of those things, you know, when you talk about the prequels with someone, and they're like, God, those movies suck. And you're like, yeah, but, yeah, you know, I still watch them because fucking Ewan McGregor. And everyone's like, oh, no. Like, unanimously, oh, no. He's the best part of those movies, right?
Yeah.
If you talk to anyone about Ghost Rider and you bring up Sam Elliott being an old Ghost Rider with the fucking Ghost Rider horse, people are like, oh, no. That's awesome. You know?
Like, fuck the actual Ghost Rider character.
Give me the Western one.
Give me the Western Sam Elliott one, dude. Like, y'all are fucking burying the lead. Like, I love Nicolas Cage.
They have an opportunity. The MCU has Ghost Rider.
Oh, dude, I'd be all about like a 6-episode fucking Sam Elliott Ghost Rider Western. Yes, please.
That'd be incredible. And because of the CGI and stuff, it'd be real easy to swap him out for a double for all the stunts and the action scenes if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'd be all over it.
It'd be like filming Mandalorian, right? You never see his face once he's a skull.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. And then they have that tech down from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., remember? The LED crown, the crown of LEDs that the dude wore, Luna, something Luna.
He looked Gabriel, fucking good on that show.
Luna? No.
I think that's...
Can't remember. He was really good, by the way.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
But they had these, for those that don't know, they had these series of red and orange LEDs that he kind of like wore on his head. And the point of it was once he's Ghost Rider and he's a flaming skull, has a flaming skull for a head, he would be emitting ambient light, and they didn't want to simulate that light. So these LEDs moved and twinkled and everything like a firewood on top of his head, and they cast light on everything around him and on his clothes and on his shoulders and in reflections and stuff. And then they just went in and animated over it the skull and the fire, but the lighting around him was real. And it was a really good effect. You could really see the difference. Like, it felt really real when you watched it. And that was for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., dude.
On a shoestring budget, he looked good. Oh, and it was Gabriel Luna, by the way. You had the name right.
I can't remember Jeff Bridges' name half the time, even though I talked nothing but sugar about him. But I pulled Gabriel Luna out. He slapped that thing on Sam Elliott and his mustache, give the chain to the mustache, and just send him out there.
Yeah. I'm there, dude.
You know those animes where there's the character that uses their hair to attack? It's the mustache, right? It has to be.
It's the mustache. Yeah. And you know what I'd fucking buy? Dude, Sam Elliott, I think, could be a vigilante in real life, just beating people to a pulp with the mustache, and I'd believe it. Like, he can do it. Okay.
What's crazy, by the way? Sam Elliott, he's never been a bad-looking guy. But I always think of him when he had that long hair phase in all of his movies and stuff. But then I'll see him in something with the short hair, and I'm like, oh, right. I forgot short hair Sam Elliott. He's a fucking good looking man. I don't care if he's like
Yeah.
70 something years old now at this point.
Yeah. He's one of those people too where he looks like he's been
been
the same
old
age
forever.
for 40 years. Sam Elliott has been old, like 50s, like kind of age Sam Elliott, 50s to 60s for 50 years. I'm pretty sure. Like he's a fucking time lord or some shit, dude. I don't know. It's the mustache.
Is he still doing?
It's the mustache.
It's the mustache. It has to be. Is he? I'm telling you, it's not the same Sam Elliott. He regenerates by passing the mustache on.
Passing the torch.
Yes, you once you get the mustache, you regenerate into Sam Elliott, young Sam Elliott, and then you continue.
I think so.
Or it's like Control, and the mustache chooses you. I don't know which one. But yeah, the
mustache abides.
The mustache abides. In that Golden Compass movie, the first one that they made, not the series, he was the Texan that Lin-Manuel Miranda played.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm assuming he was good in it, but I never saw that movie.
Dude, him and Ian McKellen, which is returning as Magneto, by the way, in the next Avengers movie.
Are you serious? I didn't hear that.
You didn't see the video, the 5-hour video or whatever of all the chairs laid out, and on the back of them is the name of everyone that's going to be in the movie.
So
and the camera just panning down them.
I heard the first couple of announcements, and I realized how they were announcing it, and I said, "Fuck you, this is fucking dumb," and then I just stopped paying attention to it because it was nonsense.
So one of the podcasts that I listened to, one of the hosts was like to the other one, says, "You watched this fucking video, didn't you?" And he was like, "I would have had I known it was happening." And then the other guy was like, "Why? Why would you watch this video?" And he's like, "Well, why wouldn't I? They're announcing the cast of the next Avengers movie." And the other host is like, "Yeah. And you know what happened? The next day, I had a complete list in my hand. I didn't have to watch a 5-hour video."
Jesus.
It was a really funny argument over absolutely nothing. But no, all the Thunderbolts, a lot of the X-Men, even though Patrick Stewart said he was done with it, him, Ian McKellen, all of them are coming back. The consensus is it's not a complete list, though, because there's a lot of people missing. Like Chris Evans has been confirmed to be in it, but he didn't have a chair listed or anything like that, so they don't think it's a complete list. A lot of people think it's a partial list. But yeah, Ian McKellen's coming back as Magneto.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Anyways, Ian McKellen is the bear in the Svalbard bear in the original Golden Compass movie.
I had no idea.
And Sam Elliott's the Texan. And that movie, and Nicole Kidman's the mom, and 007.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig is Lyra's dad. So the cast in that movie is phenomenal, but the two best things about that movie is Sam Elliott and Ian McKellen, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I believe it.
Yeah. It's, if you're interested in that property, it's worth a watch because it has a hell of a cast. If you're not interested, I don't think the movie itself is all that good. And they changed it. They moved things around. Some of the things that happened, they took out and moved to what was going to be the other movies. And then they took some stuff from the other books and put in this movie. And they had really planned on making all 3 movies, and then that movie bombed and they just walked away.
Yeah. I watched the first season of the show and liked it, but I haven't been back to watch more of it.
X-23?
The show also had a pretty good cast and was pretty good. I think they were dropping it with too many episodes per season, personally. Like, I think they should have been like 6 or 8 instead of 10.
Yeah, I agree.
But HBO is like really set on 10 episodes a season for shit just because of Game of Thrones. But it's like, you realize those Game of Thrones seasons had 600 pages of material they were adapting in each book, right, into a season. Like, just because Game of Thrones had 10 episodes a season, like, we don't need everything to be 10 episodes a season.
What is your favorite cameo in this movie, Jeff? Is it John Polito as the Private Snoop? Is it Jennifer Lamb as the pancake waitress? Or is it Saddam Hussein?
I think it's got to be the last one. No, but the one I love the most, just because we just watched it, was we got the hi-hat.
We got the hi-hat.
We got the hi-hat. He's in the movie for 20 seconds just because they wanted to have their buddy back in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, his scene pretty much serves like no purpose.
No purpose other than to put him in it.
Other than they needed an excuse to have Mr. Hi-Hat back in their fucking new movie. And I appreciate it.
I laughed out loud for multiple reasons when the guy with the bowling shoes in that dream sequence turns around and it's Saddam Hussein, because I cannot look at a picture of even the actual Saddam Hussein without thinking Hot Shots.
Right.
And without thinking him merged with the dog.
Forever Hot Shots.
Oh my God. We should talk about some of the dream sequences in this, because one, I've got a story that Jeff Bridges told about one of them, and two, the dream sequences are just some of the best parts of this movie.
They're crazy elaborate too.
Yeah.
Like they spent so much time designing the shit the way that they were gonna use for the dream sequences.
I love him flying. Like that scene in Superman with his hand in the bowling ball, and then Maud's riding a magic carpet like she's fucking Aladdin.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
The magic carpet thing with like the rug.
With the rug she took back from him.
Is such a great idea. My goodness,
I
so
laughed
good.
so hard when it cut to the magic carpet.
The magic carpet. Yeah, me too.
Oh, that was so good. But
I remember the dream sequence being a thing, but I forgot about like the specific thing with like the magic carpet and like Saddam and shit. So it's like the movie is so dense that if you just wait 5 years, you will forget 95% of the jokes.
Yeah,
because there's so much. Oh, we have. This is what happens, Larry. This is what happens. Like. That probably got the biggest laugh for me the very first time I saw the movie, because I still laugh my ass off when it's happening on rewatch. And the only thing I love even more than that scene is the made for TV edit, which I'm sure you've seen. Do you know what it gets changed to when he's screaming that? This is what happens, Larry. This is what happens when you fight a stranger in the Alps. That is legit what is in the TV edit, and I fucking love it.
That is up there with these Monday to Friday snakes on this monkey fighting plane.
It's incredible.
Oh
You gotta YouTube it,
God.
dude. You gotta YouTube it. The fact that they had to bring in John Goodman to record
And
"Fight
he
a Stranger
recorded
in
it.
the
It
Alps."
wasn't like a voice alike.
I'm pretty sure it's John Goodman. It sounds like
And
John
what's
Goodman
the
when you watch
line
it. I
again?
think. This is what happens, Larry. This is what happens when you fight a stranger in the Alps.
You know the story on how they come up with those, right? They pick words that semi-match the way the lips
The
are
cadence.
moving. Yeah, and the cadence.
Yeah.
So you get these really weird results like that. That's how you get
Yeah.
Monday to Friday, and monkey fighting. I
Monkey
almost
fighting,
said Monday to
yeah.
fighting. Them's Monday to fighting words, son.
These monkey to Friday
These monkey to fighting. What?
Oh my goodness.
Dude.
Yeah.
In the porn dream sequence, which is my favorite one. In that same 10 years later retrospective, Jeff Bridges had an amazing story where he talked about how he doesn't like to have visitors on set because he wants to do his thing and he wants to get into the character, and he can't not be Jeff Bridges if someone that knows Jeff Bridges hangs around, right?
Mhm.
But usually when he makes a movie, there's a scene or two that they shoot that his wife and daughters he invites out to watch him work, right? And he picked this dream sequence, thinking, oh, this will be interesting. And then he's standing there getting ready to shoot it. And he looks over at his wife and his daughters, and he's like, I'm about to ride a skateboard between the legs of a bunch of dancers dressed like bowling pin looking up their skirts. What have I done? And they do the scene, they do the sequence. he thought it'd be interesting because he likes to sing and dance and stuff. Because he's a lot like his dad in that way, which we've had featured on this show before, right? Lloyd Bridges. I don't know if you've ever seen the YouTube video of Lloyd Bridges singing Sinatra. Fuck,
I don't think I have.
dude, fuck Sinatra. I want to listen to more Lloyd Bridges.
Nice.
It's black and white too. I think it's on the Ed Sullivan Show. The only reason I know that is when Jeff Bridges was on Colbert. It's in the Ed Sullivan Theater, like David Letterman was, and then the Ed Sullivan Show was. And Colbert pointed out that on this exact date in whatever year is when Lloyd Bridges sang that song on stage, on the same stage that Jeff Bridges was now sitting on, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, so Jeff Bridges says that, okay, they get to that part of the sequence. He gets on the skateboard. They start pulling him through all these girls' legs. And he looks up and he's looking up their skirts. And the first girl has so much pubic hair flowing out of her costume, right?
Jesus.
He said it's just a cascade of pubic hair. And then the second girl does. And then the third girl does. And then the fourth girl does. All the way down the line. And he finds out later. Remember the whole "what have I done" thing? When he realized what he invited his wife and daughters to watch him shoot?
Mm-hmm.
His wife had found out what the scene was and went to the costume designer and the makeup people and was like, "Can we do this?" And they're like, "Yes, we can." And all the girls agreed, and they all stuffed their costumes full of fake hair. And then when he is riding the skateboard and looks up, there's just these jungles of pubic hair everywhere, and he has no idea what's happening.
I love that so much.
His wife did that to him.
That is incredible.
Oh, and I love how
they were all like much with the same energy of the movie. They were all just like, "Yep, are on board. That's good."
They're like, "I'm already dressed as a bowling pin. Sure."
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
fuck it.
It's incredible.
That's genius. I had no idea.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting here like, that is incredible. But Jeff, why the fuck are you telling this story at the same time? He's such a weird dude, but I love him for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a Coen Brothers character in real life.
He really is.
Carries himself.
And like,
it's
I
amazing.
know that you didn't like the second Kingsman movie. But all the Jeff Bridges scenes were great, and all the Julianne Moore scenes were great. I love her in that movie.
Fantastic.
She's such a psychotic villain. She's such a sociopath.
I need to
with her
watch
robot
it again.
dogs. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I
need to watch it again.
With his whip or his rope. It was a lasso.
Like the movie, I didn't care for, but the cast is great, and I feel like I might like it better on a second watch when I'm not as hyped because
of how much I love
Kingsman,
the first that's going to be my pick next. You know that, right?
Yeah,
we're doing a double feature.
Part of it
Take me
was
home,
like
country roads.
Part of it was because I was let down because of how much I liked the first one. It's like, but that was like a really high bar to clear on a sequel because the first one is amazing. So I might like it better on rewatch.
Manners maketh man.
Yep. God, I love that character so much.
But yeah, great. I am ready to watch The Big Lebowski again.
Dude, I thought about watching it, especially because we got delayed a few days. I thought about watching it again.
Days.
Yeah, several weeks.
Yeah, goddamn. So this actually harkens back to the origin of this podcast, right? Because when we were doing our movie days where we would do double features, you would bring one, I'd bring one. This is one of them you brought, right? I had never seen it before.
Yeah, this was one of the first ones, and I knew that you liked John Goodman, and I was like, oh, dude, you have to watch The Big Lebowski. So this was, if not the first one I showed you, like one of the very first ones. Because
I also watched Tron when I was very young, so the bright, flashy lights really held my attention, and I've loved Jeff Bridges ever since.
Yeah.
So,
man.
Yeah, it's I fucking love Jeff Bridges. I love John Goodman. I can take or leave Julianne Moore. Steve Buscemi, My God. By the way,
Steve Buscemi is really funny in this. He has very limited like stuff to do because mostly he's just there to ask questions of the dude and Walter, but he's funny in his like line deliveries especially when he's talking with Walter, and it's like Walter will be like cutting him off, and like he seems like annoyed, and Donnie should hate Walter, but Donnie loves the dude and Walter.
What movie does Steve Buscemi die in a wood chipper?
I do not know off the top of my head.
So I know that was a really random question. The reason I ask is, again, in that same retrospective, this was filmed 10 years after the movie. I want to keep throwing that caveat in there because they say things like, "This is my favorite this or that." So this would be what, 2008? Oh shit, that means Jeff Bridges had just filmed Iron Man.
Was he bald?
So Steve Buscemi said this was his favorite on-screen death at the time. He didn't say at the time, but he said this was his favorite on-screen death. He said everyone associates him dying on screen with a scene where he was thrown into a wood chipper. But he said the problem with that is it's a special effect, so he wasn't even there, really, when they filmed it, right? He's not on screen. This one he's on screen for, and it just kind of comes out of nowhere, really, for no reason. And he said it leads to the worst eulogy anyone could ever give, and he freaking loves it. He said that...
We didn't even talk about the fucking Folgers can.
We didn't talk about the Folgers can. We're
Dude,
scattering his ashes. We're not paying $168 for an urn.
I wish I had myself on recording the very first time I saw this movie when they hard cut to the dude with all of the ashes being thrown. Dude, Jeff Bridges' reaction to that. Jeff Bridges' reaction to that is so fucking funny. Dude, I die laughing every fucking time I watch this.
Oh shit, dude, I'm sorry.
Kills me.
There's the damn wind, man.
What does this have to do with Nom, man? This has nothing to do with Nom, man.
And then Steve Buscemi said that not only is that eulogy like absolutely terrible and it's delivered incredibly well by John Goodman, he said that it's the part in the movie and the only time it's mentioned that he's a surfer and it has nothing to do with anything. And he said he didn't even know that about his character until he heard the eulogy. Like, I don't know. But
it also shows like they've done nothing but kind of like pretend that Donnie doesn't exist, but they love him so much as their bowling buddy. They drive all the way out here to do this fucking eulogy for him. Like,
yeah, they're scattering his ashes at the ocean because he surfs, not somewhere where he bowls or anything.
Yeah, they paid attention to him and they gave a shit. They just didn't show it in the way they interacted with him, but it's really funny. Like,
and then it's like, why is it them? Does he have no family? Does he not have a wife? Does he not have parents? Like, why is it them?
That's also part of it too. Is it's like these three guys might not like interact like they like each other, but like they're all they have in the world because the dude has nobody. Walter has his ex-wife. Walter is so lonely he continues to do shit to help out his ex-wife, and the dude constantly roasts him for it. Yeah, like where he's like the fucking dog. That he's constantly dog sitting for his ex-wife so she can go on like vacations with her new husband and shit. And it's so fucked up and sad, but like Walter just fucking does it.
Oh man,
man, it's so good.
That and the only thing I wanted to add that I forgot to mention, and then I think I've pretty much covered everything I wanted to say. This speaks more to the Coens than anything, I think, because I thought this was really cool. Julianne Moore, in her retrospective, was talking about that same dream sequence because she's in the Valkyrie costume, like the opera, with the horns and everything. Like everybody knows it from Bugs Bunny, right? And Elmer Fudd. So she's in that costume. She said, "You cannot move in that costume. It's so tight. It's so restricting." That you just cannot move. And the coordinator keeps telling her to move more and to move bigger and keeps wanting to reshoot and refilm again and again and again, and she can't move or whatever. And she's just like, I don't think that I can do this scene. Like, this is terrible. Like, I don't know what to do. And the Coens are like, it's fine. We're going to use the first one. Don't worry. And like they just go through this and like, no, we already know what we're doing. It's fine. Just go with it. And yeah, she was over there like, I don't know what to do, and they're just like, yeah, we already got it. It's fine.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
it's like they're so weird in how nonchalant they are while also being so fucking meticulous about some shit. Like, these are the type of people, like the Coen brothers are like so singular in how bizarre they are. They're telling all the actors, do whatever the fuck you want, but I bet you they're in the editing room for fucking endless hours on hours just on like a single scene.
Or are
like
they? Because like John Turturro said they used everything he did. Was there anything on the floor?
I'm talking about the timing of the edits.
Oh my god, dude. I can't even imagine.
I bet you they spend an entire day sometimes just getting the timing down like a single joke. They just seem like that type of people to me. And like it shows though in the editing, like especially in Lebowski, like these hard cuts are so funny. The like like you said earlier, like the stuff that's happening in the dude's apartment when they cut back is always really funnily shot. Like when he, like the way that it's edited and shot when he sets the chair against the door and then the door like opens the opposite way. And then
he's so clueless and aimless. He doesn't even know which way his fucking door opens.
Doesn't even know which way his door opens. And dude, how fucking good is it that the one person who falls for his booby trap is himself? Yeah. He trips himself with the booby trap that he lays on the ground. His fucking Home Alone trap that he makes that everyone else just walks over.
Do you want to know the best part about that? It's not the chair. It's not the fact that he trips over it later. The best part of it is you need 2 nails to do what he did. There's like 15 nails, and they're all bent halfway over because he can't even hammer them in correctly.
Nope.
Like, oh my god. Like, there's so much. We have to fit it in somewhere. We're contractually obligated. But there's so much environmental storytelling, like the way Dark Souls does, where the camera doesn't even focus on what he's doing, right? Like, we talked about one of our favorite parts in the first Tremors movie with the way they do their humor. Remember when they're making the fence at the beginning, and it takes Kevin Bacon like 8 tries to even hit the nail once, and then when he walks away, Fred Ward stops and stares at it for a second and then walks off? Because that was a mistake that they kept in. He was supposed to hit it and go. But he just kept trying until he hit it. And then he walked off because he was about to laugh. And then Fred Ward stops and reacts in character the way Earl Bassett would and look at it like, what the fuck did I just see? And that's what they put in the movie. But they called it out. This, if you pay attention to him hammering down, we come in on like, what, the last nail? There's like 20 nails halfway bent over in this thing. Like it's a goddamn Looney Tune window being boarded up, right?
Oh, they're a really cool bit, like just on that topic that you reminded me of that I read about. I didn't pick up myself, but it's interesting. It's not only stuff like the Saddam elements and things that are specifically talked about that are referenced in the dream sequence. There's also just general imagery that's referenced and foreshadowed.
Yeah.
There's one scene, I think it is when the dude is talking to his landlord. He opens the door to talk to the landlord. The staircase behind the dude there's stacks of shoes on every single staircase leading up in like a row and above him. And that is the imagery that leads to him seeing the never-ending bowling shoes up in the sky. Because he's picking up on just general shit in his environment.
Which is what your brain does when you dream.
Which is what your brain does when you dream, exactly. So it's like there is a lot of foreshadowing. That's why that one is a
porno too. Is they said that like Maude had just showed him the Peter Stormare porno thing or whatever.
Yeah, he's dressed up like Peter Stormare in the porno.
Yeah,
because there's but it's not just specific things that are made like a note of. There's just random shit foreshadowed throughout the movie that ends up being in the dream sequence, which is pretty cool because I didn't pick up on that.
Wow, that's crazy. That is a level of planning I just don't even have the energy to think about.
Right? Like they're
that's
at
way
the same
too
time.
Meticulous. This is why it takes them 20 years between their movies to make something.
At the same time, they're telling everyone just like do whatever the fuck you want. They're also planning that shit. They're crazy. Like they're fucking nuts in how nonchalant and meticulous they are at the same time,
But
and it all ends
again,
up working.
when you hire
It's
talented people and let them be talented, I mean, this is what you
yeah,
get, right?
yeah, it works out sometimes. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
everything.
mark it down, Jeff.
I had
Market 0.
market 0.
Market 0.
Yeah, I think that's everything I've got.
I'm gonna feel better knowing that this podcast is out there.
Dude, this has been. Oh, but by the way, just real quick, you are gonna have to do a slight edit because I don't know if you guys were having it earlier. We got a crazy amount of hail about 20 minutes ago.
Did you
so
really?
If anyone hears anything in the background of the recording, we got like a crazy storm for a second, and I went ahead and saved a recording because I didn't want, with how cursed this podcast has been, I didn't want a power outage to kill my entire side of the recording. So
Nice.
there's like, I stopped the recording for a second, saved a part 1, and then started up a part 2 like 5 seconds later that you'll have to edit, just so you know. And if anyone hears the storm shit in the background, I apologize. But
Interesting. I never heard it on the call.
we got a crazy amount of hail for about 5 minutes here, and then it stopped.
Man, that's crazy. We're getting a lot of wind, and I can hear thunder, but we haven't got that yet.
Yeah, so let's end this fucking show before a power outage kills the whole recording. But yeah, was that your final things you wanted to include?
Yeah, that's I think I've said just about everything I want to say. Yeah.
I'm glad that you watched that featurette because I had no clue. Especially the thing with Jeff Bridges' wife is just perfect.
That's
I love
incredible.
That's like one of the best trolls I've ever heard of.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, we're gonna have more Coen Brothers shit on here eventually. But before we have Coen Brothers stuff that we pick, what's happening next month, Ron? Would you like to elaborate?
Oh
on
my God,
what's happening?
What have we done, Jeff? What hell hath we wrought? Next month is gonna be a little different if you're new around these parts. We are doing our Friends and Family Month, where we basically just give the keys to the podcast to, I guess, anyone that lines up that we know. And
Yeah.
sometimes they're nice and friendly, and a lot of the time they're not.
Yeah, we've had stuff like Dragon Ball Evolution,
Which I
Tammy
own.
and the T-Rex.
Connie and the T-Rex, thank you.
M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender.
Poor Cliff Curtis.
This is some of the
He's
shit
trying
that
to
you
keep his
get when
clothes
you
on.
when you let other people take control of the movie selections. You get stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, are some of our best episodes. So if you haven't heard those, you go back and you can tell
I think
easily.
the worse the movie is, the better our episodes are, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. But you can so easily tell when we lose selection of the movies because it will randomly switch to shit like The Last Airbender, and you're like, what the fuck are they doing talking about The Last Airbender? And now you'll know why.
Yeah. I can tell you our next episode is gonna be one of our all-time best, probably, if our episodes get better with how bad the movie is.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be an all-timer. You're definitely want to tune in for that. Would you like to know the movie and the name of the star?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's called Another Time, and it stars Justin Hartley and Chriselle Stause. You say? Toaster Stous.
Is Justin Hartley
Tracker?
Hold on.
Tracker. And Bruce Wayne, but Tracker.
Justin Hartley. Yeah, I know him from Smallville.
Yeah, 72 episodes as the Green Arrow.
Yeah,
and there's a podcast that he's Bruce Wayne, I believe. And he's mainly known for This Is Us.
What's the fucking name of this?
Exactly. Remember I said at the beginning of the thing it has such a generic name I can never remember it, and then Chris had to feed it to me as I was searching for it. It's called Another Time.
Oh shit, this is a TV movie. This was a made-for-TV movie.
Adventure, comedy, romance, sci-fi.
Well played, Chris.
Just because a journey leads you somewhere you didn't expect doesn't mean you ended up in the wrong place. Oh.
This other dude is I know from Heroes. He was like the
James Kyson.
yeah. He was one of the supporting characters in Heroes. Who the fuck was he in that?
Yeah, I know him from something. It's not Lovecraft Country. I never got around to watching that. Shit, he's in Cyberpunk 2077.
Hold on. Oh god, Heroes was like 15 years ago now.
He's apparently a voice in Anthem too. I think I'm the only person that played that game.
I played it for about an hour. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, because that movie, that game fucking rocks, man. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It might be from a game actually, because I know all of these games that he's in and none of these other movies or TV things. So I may actually know him from a game more than anything. Shit, he's in YE50 back in 2011.
Damn, just show
Despicable
me.
Me,
Heroes,
additional voices. God, I hope he's his additional voice for the Minions. Could you imagine? Mortal Kombat. Oh, he voiced Shang Tsung in that, huh?
And that's who he was. Ando in Heroes. Jesus Christ, there was apparently 74 episodes of Heroes. That's too many.
He's on one episode of Jag. Anyway, my parents watched Jag a lot.
But we need to appreciate Heroes existing because it gave us Zachary Quinto, and I appreciate that because I do like Zachary Quinto.
I never saw an episode.
The first season was a lot of fun. It was very good. You have never seen a thing fall off the rails faster than Heroes, because it was like overnight a switch got flipped and that turned into one of the worst TV shows of all time.
Faster than the last season of Game of Thrones?
It was that much of a drastic change.
Really?
Yeah, it became that bad overnight. Can I crazy.
Before I tell the fine people where they can source, what was it? Another Time.
It's the most generic, nonchalant name. I can't retain it.
It does not stick in my head at all. Every time I think about this movie, I have to turn to my wife and be like, what was that movie again?
What's it called?
And then there's been a couple of times.
You told it to me a minute ago and I already forgot it again.
There's been a couple of times where even she was like, I don't know. And she had to look it up first. She's seen this movie. It's her pick. So it's the most generic name. It's Another Time. But can I point your attention to a different movie called The Noel Diary? The poster for it.
The Noel Diary. What the fuck is the Noel Diary?
I don't know, and I don't care. The poster is all I care about.
Oh, I found it. Is it the other Justin Hartley thing?
Yes.
I found it.
Are they in the same room or are they photoshopped together? Because this poster is kind of amazing. It may even be AI generated. I don't know. There is something about this poster.
Why is the
She looks like she's in the foreground, and he looks like he's in the background, and they've been resized, and they look like they're looking at nothing.
They look constipated. Why is this the cover? Also, why is the Netflix logo in 240p? Why,
dude? I don't know. It's still better than the Patreon logo.
I mean, everything's better than the Patreon logo.
So this trailer has been playing while we've been talking about this. I think he's a writer, and I suddenly realized he's just as bland and dull as Alan Wake. And if they ever adapt Alan Wake, I so want him to be Alan Wake.
He'd actually be a pretty good Alan. I actually kind of like that dude. Like, at least I liked him back in 1,000 years ago when Smallville was happening.
Okay, so I only know him from This Is Us, which I was not a fan of. Chris was. And I caught it from here and there. This Is Us also gave us is it Sterling K. Brown? Is that his name?
Yes, I think so.
He's in Black Panther and that Predator movie, and
he popped up in a million things after This Is Us. Like, he was all over the fucking place.
The two of them are probably the two best parts, Justin Hartley and Sterling.
So he was a legit good Green Arrow.
Was he?
In Smallville. Yeah, he was really good.
In This Is Us, he seems like he doesn't know where he is or what he's doing or why he's doing any of it, from what I saw.
In This Is Us? Is that what you said? I've never seen an episode. I just know that it's a thing.
Don't. But his his opposite in this movie, another time, Chriselle Stouser, she is from Selling Sunset, and did they get married, Chris, after this movie, during this movie? Were they married before? Do you know? He thinks they got married after this movie. So
How did Chris find this movie?
that's a good question. How did you find this movie? It was just recommended to her. It
Probably
sounds spot
because
on,
she watched
too. It
This Is
sounds like
Us.
the algorithm nailed it.
I was curious if she literally just watched it because
Oh
it
my
had
god.
Justin Hartley.
Chriselle Toaster Streusel is in Hot Frosty.
Do what now?
Do you not know about Hot Frosty?
I don't know what Hot Frosty is.
You don't know about Hot Frosty?
No. Oh no.
Oh
Oh,
my
no.
god, how did you escape it? This is the movie. This was the movie this holiday season. This is the movie everyone was talking about.
Why is Craig Robinson in this movie?
I
What the
don't
fuck
know,
is this?
but he is. No.
Oh no.
This movie is literally hailed as one of the dumbest movies ever made. It was so dumb. It was one of those things. This movie's so stupid you have to check it out. Like
So,
everyone
Ron,
was talking about this movie.
I might have told you earlier that one of my next picks was going to be a Coen Brothers movie, but now I've learned about Hot Frosty, and now I know what I might be. thinking,
What's funny
'cause-
is the guy that plays Hot Frosty, that plays Jack Snowman. Jack Snowman. Let's just sit on that for a second.
I'd rather not. But okay.
He is hotter in the promo photos for this than he is in the movie because he looks like he's fucking 12 without the beard.
I love how straight to the point and dumb the IMDb movie description is. Have you read this?
No.
Widow Kathy magically brings a snowman to life. His innocence helps her heal and find love again. They bond before the holidays, but he's doomed to melt.
It's got a lot of Olaf energy. Like, this is hands down the best day of my life, and quite possibly my last. Lacey Chabert is in this movie. She is in every single fucking like bullshit like Hallmark type movie and every Christmas movie they do. But
so she's like the go-to.
Well, she's also like a legit good voice actress. Like, look, she's Supergirl and Harley Quinn.
I've heard her name before. Like I'm familiar with her. Like,
she's in a ton of stuff that we have watched as a voice, and she's like legit good as a voice. She's Zatanna in Young Justice.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's crazy. She is apparently in 16 episodes of Family Guy, and one of them is Meg Griffin, which surprised me.
Well, I wonder if shit. They can make those Netflix and Hallmark style movies in like a week.
Yeah.
So it's just easy. It's easy money, and there's no stakes to it because it's like no one fucking gives a shit if you phone in the fucking Hallmark movie.
In Justice, she's Zatanna in that as well. She's Daisy Johnson in Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I didn't even know they brought Quake into that cartoon. I watched that cartoon.
What platform can we stream working title another time?
Right. Yeah. Anyways, another time. We can find another time. It's on Prime Video. It's on Fubo, thank God. It's MGM Plus if you're a subscriber, and I know you are. If you enjoy ads, you can watch it on the Roku channel. If you have a library card, which is how I'll be watching it, it's on Hoopla. Or if you enjoy ads but hate Roku or don't own a Roku, you can watch it on Tubi.
You know how in Doctor Who, you forgot the silence existed unless you were looking at them?
Yes.
If I'm not looking at the Another Time IMDb page, that title disappears from my mind as soon as I click away.
No, what's even
It's
better,
gone.
look it up. If you can remember the title long enough, look it up on Just Watch.
I'm gonna have Another Time Sharpie to my fucking forehead like Doctor Who.
I want you to
Just to fucking remember it. What'd you say to do?
exactly. Go to Just Watch and look at the poster they have for Another Time.
Okay, I'm doing it.
It looks like a
now.
weird gender bent, weird science. Weird science.
What the fuck?
It's
got like it looks almost like a fucking Animorphs cover, dude. Like, what am I looking at?
So I was gonna go with the Julia Roberts meme, but it does have a lot of Animorphs energy to it. So it's a sci-fi genre movie. So I guess there's time travel maybe involved. I don't know. It's called Another Time, and it's a sci-fi movie. I almost said Sci-Fi Channel movie. Those are better.
Hey, why can't I buy Another Time in 4K?
Right.
0 out of 10.
You can also, if you want to throw money at it, you can rent it on Amazon and Apple TV and Fandango and Google.
I will be watching it via Prime Video, which I already have.
The other way I know Justin Hartley is Stephen Colbert, because there's a show on CBS called Tracker, and he's the tracker.
I'm familiar with that. Because they fucking drop 2,000 ads for it during football games for some reason. It's like constant.
Well, they got Justin Hartley, dude. They got the fucking Green Arrow tracking people.
Hell yeah, dude.
So David Letterman, when he had to plug stuff for CBS, when he went to the desk, he would just do the plug that kind of paid the bills and keep the lights on and then move on with the show. But Colbert, the way he does it is incredible. Like, he might make like a cannibalism joke or something and then immediately turn to a second camera and it zooms on his face. He goes, and speaking of cannibalism, Tracker. And then all the promos for Tracker comes up and he'd be like, watch Justin Hartley track people in Tracker. And he just like goes on and on and on. And then he'll go back to camera one and continue his monologue. Like, it'll be the most random thing. He'll be like, and if you're interested in necrophilia, Tracker. Like, it's
Tracker.
It's always back to Tracker.
Featuring Another Time's Justin Hartley.
Exactly. Justin Hartley of Another Time fame. Yeah, I cannot think of Justin Hartley or the show Tracker without thinking of Colbert whipping his head to a second camera and just throwing Tracker.
I'm actually glad he ended up kind of finding a career via This Is Us and Tracker and shit like that, because it was always really sad what happened with him in Smallville, because he was super awesome as Oliver Queen in Smallville, right?
Uh-huh.
And they'd been talking for fucking years, because he was in like the last like 4 seasons or whatever of Smallville, something like that, and everyone really liked him. And then they announced a Green Arrow thing. They announced a Green Arrow thing, and it was the Stephen Amell reboot. So the guy was like basically being set up to get his own spinoff show, and then they rebooted it with the Stephen Amell thing. So he got so fucked. So I'm glad that he found success in other shit.
So that is a lot worse, because it was one show to another show, and it was the same people, same network, same everything. But remember when they announced casting for The Flash? Everyone wanted what's his name from the CW show, and they're like, "Why? Why are you recasting it? He's perfect. Like, he's so good."
Grant Gustin.
There we go. I was getting the Greg. I couldn't think of the Gustin.
Yeah,
but yeah,
man.
Everyone felt like he got shafted when they made that movie. Everyone involved with that movie got shafted. Actually, he's the one that came out because they didn't cast him. So.
Yeah, let's cast Ezra Miller, because that's a great idea.
Yes, always. In between home invasions, he's got a busy schedule.
Hey, man.
There's power outages.
He's got a busy schedule. Fortunately, he has the Speed Force to rob as many houses as humanly possible on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not go down that rabbit hole though. So the next movie is Another Time.
That's right.
Watch it. I'll forget the title before the end of the show, so I'm gonna have to text Ron in a few days what the movie title is to look it up to watch it
I
again.
need to write it down on a sticky note and stick it to my new TV.
I'm gonna stick it in my fucking forehead and write it in Sharpie, like I said earlier, like the silence.
Yes.
Because it's just not gonna happen.
My God.
But yeah, and then we will be having. I don't think we talked about it, but it is 4 back-to-back weeks of episodes, so hopefully those will be on time. That's all I can say.
No guarantees. No guarantees. I make no
If
promises.
you would like to follow the show more, we are on Twitter.
And
You
why
can follow
wouldn't
us
you?
at SPR Filmcast. Epic incoming another time action, which I'm definitely
Sunday.
definitely gonna enjoy watching. And any ratings or reviews on whichever platform you found us on always helps us out. If you found us on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to share us out to your friends. Especially share out the next few weeks, because I get the feeling we're gonna have some fucking nonsense.
Yeah, while you're over on YouTube, why don't you go check out Blake Shelton? I hear it's pretty good.
I hear he lived it.
I hear he lived it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's go watch Big Lebowski again.
Let's do no, fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling.
Let's go bowling.
Dude, we didn't talk about that. I want to go bowling so bad after watching this movie.
I wanted to go bowling before, but afterwards,
dude,
I almost watched this movie on my phone in a bowling alley.
Dude, when you watch this movie, the editing on when people are bowling makes it just it's like your brain is just like, I need to go bowling. I need to go bowling now. It just I don't know what it is, but I have to go fucking bowling, dude. Like, it's got to happen sooner rather than later. Like, I'm jonesing for it now because of the goddamn Lebowski. It's like I gotta do it.
When's the last time you watched Kingpin?
Probably like 20 years ago.
I don't remember hardly anything about that movie. I remember liking it.
It's Woody Harrelson, right?
Yes.
It's that one.
The one they stick his hand in the ball return and then he has a hook. And he has like bowl with a hook. I think about that every time I'm waiting. I think about that every time I'm waiting for the ball to come back from the ball return. Like, don't get your hand fucking near it.
Yeah, you get fucking Kingpin PTSD. Yeah. And not Vincent D'Onofrio PTSD.
It's like the one thing I remember about that movie is them picking him up and ramming his hand into it.
Isn't it Randy Quaid? Who's the other guy in it?
Oh God, I hope so.
With Woody Harrelson, I think it is.
Did I tell you my Randy Quaid dream?
I think you did, but I already forgot.
He came in and took my last Coke Zero, dude.
Oh, you did fucking tell me that. Yeah, it is Randy Quaid.
I was hanging out in a kitchen I don't recognize, but it was apparently my kitchen, talking to someone I don't remember who, because it was one of those things where, like, well, it was one of those things, like, I guess they weren't important to the dream, so you never really see their face clearly. So I'm just talking to them, and fucking Randy Quaid with that bushy-ass beard of his and the bushy-ass hair of his, where he looks like a fucking wizard living in the woods. He's like Radagast the Brown or whatever. Comes walking in, opens the fridge, and grabs my Coke Zero, and I'm just like, dude, what the hell? That's my last Coke Zero. And he just smiles at me as he cracks it open and walks away.
That's fucked up, dude.
And I woke up and I was like, what the hell?
All I can say is you probably need to see a therapist, like, immediately.
Well, I put it in DreamyBot. I already know what's up.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you got.
I got it covered. DreamyBot's free. I can't afford therapy.
I gotta buy my TV.
I gotta pay for my TV.
It's like, what's really getting me down is, like, my mental health is one thing, but the TV is blue, so, like, I know, like, what needs to be corrected first, and it's the TV. I'm
sure there's a metaphor in there somewhere.
I have to be able to watch Another Time in immaculate mini LED. Okay, I need proper quality.
Do you remember the name? As soon as we stop recording, I'm gonna forget the name of the fucking movie.
Another time, dude.
Maybe I'll remember it another time.
How has that title not been used like 400 times to where it's like Another Time 1999, Another Time like 2012? You know what I mean? When those are just titles that have just been used to death.
Yeah.
It's been used so many times they have to use the year just to differentiate the like 300 different fucking versions.
Do you think it would be possible to make a movie with such a generic title that either has something that happens or something that's said over and over again, where they have to do that thing that they do with music where here's the song title, but in parentheses, here's what the public know it as?
Oh, yeah. Well, they did that with fucking Edge of Tomorrow. where it was
yeah,
like
Live, Die, Repeat.
where they accidentally renamed the movie because they're stupid posters they set up.
Jesus, is
it.
that what happened? I know the name changes every time I look at it. It's like the opposite of the silence. It's like fucking Schrodinger's cat or whatever.
Yeah, they in all of their marketing, it was always Live, Die, Repeat because I think that's what the anime is called or the manga, whatever.
I thought that was like their tagline.
See, okay, Live, Die, Repeat.
No one knows.
Live. Oh no.
Eh?
All you need is kill.
All you need
is the name of the manga. Okay. And what happened was they made this movie called Edge of Tomorrow, but on every single poster and every bit of marketing material, Edge of Tomorrow was nowhere to be seen. All that was ever said and like said on the fucking trailers and like fucking plastered all over the posters was Live, Die, Repeat. So everyone just thought it was Live, Die, Repeat.
See, I
so
remember
even though the movie is called Edge of Tomorrow, it is known as Live, Die, Repeat just as much because of the marketing.
I remember the sticker coming in on the trailer always said Edge of Tomorrow. But did it really not say the name of the movie is Edge of Tomorrow in the trailer? I don't really remember. I had zero interest because it was Tom Cruise. I never watched it.
It's actually a pretty cool movie.
Is it?
It's
got Tom
mostly
Cruise
because
in it. I have a hard time believing it was any good.
It's good because of Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt
that
is like an anime. Emily Blunt is an anime protagonist with a fucking sword in a mecha thing, dude. It's pretty badass. But yeah, the posters is what fucked that
it's
movie.
Power Armor, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just flashed back to Saints Row 4 for a second. No, it's a mech.
Yeah.
That's Power Armor, man. A mech you pilot, a Power Armor you wear. It's a mech.
Okay. Ron, pull up your phone.
Oh no.
I'm showing you what led to the Live, Die, Repeat debacle. This is such a stupid way to show the actual name of the movie. Because they have
Cruise Blunt, Edge of Tomorrow.
Cruise/Blunt/ Edge of Tomorrow at the very bottom in like Times New Roman 10, and they have Live, Die, Repeat in Times New Roman 6000 plastered all over the main parts of the poster. So like you would think Live, Die, Repeat is the name of the fucking movie, and that's how you get Live, Die, Repeat.
That's incredible.
It's such a crazy like absolute way to shit the bed when you're promoting your movie when you misname the movie.
Wow,
I love it.
That's nuts.
I love it.
I had no idea.
It's great. I love it. It's also just a fucking horrible poster because the pictures that are like scenes are like pixelated and super small. The font's the biggest fucking thing in the whole poster.
Yeah.
Like you don't even see what the movie's
notice
about.
them in the poster.
Like all you can see is Live, Die, Repeat, dude. It's crazy.
Man.
But yeah, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. All right, so next week is All You Need Is Kill, right?
Yeah. No, it's Live, Die, Another Time. That's what it's.
Jesus Christ, we gotta go.
And nobody fucks with Jesus.
Shut the fuck up, Jeff.
Shut the fuck. Wait, when are we playing? Good night, everybody.